Later in this course, we'll look at the various ways that you can combine clips together, move them around, take them out of sequences, and so on. But before we get into the extra detail associated with working with edits, I thought it'd be helpful to just look at what editing is. So I have a sequence here in the timeline panel, and if I click just once on each of the clips in this sequence, you can see they're a little bit like Lego bricks. They're kind of like building blocks placed one after the other in the timeline panel. Now these are positioned. You can see that actually each of them has some audio. So there's two parts to this. We've got our video 1 track, and we're laying video clips on there. And we've got video 1, 2, and 3. We can have lots and lots of video tracks. And we've got our audio tracks, audio 1, 2, and 3, or A1, 2, and 3. There's a few extra buttons around here that we'll look at later, but essentially just keep an eye on these numbers. So video 1 is usually associated with audio 1, video 2 with audio 2, and so on. Because these clips have audio, the audio part is shown as a separate clip segment. So here I've got this clip called Excuse Me and a bunch of numbers, and then the lower rectangle here is the audio associated with that clip. I can move this clip to another point in time. You see time is moving left to right in this sequence, and you can kind of think of this as the play bar at the bottom of a YouTube video. There's a play head here, that's this blue icon, and the line going down across the various tracks, which are these horizontal lines. And if I move this clip, I'm just dragging now, I can drop it anywhere I want. You can see where I've dropped it there. I've just laid it over the top of some existing clips, and they're now gone from the sequence. If I drag this back into its original position, you can see there's a gap left behind. So you can position clips any way you want in time, and clips that are on upper video tracks are in front of lower video tracks. Here is that title I made in the last lesson, which is unimaginatively called Some Words, and you can see that's on the video 2 track. Don't pay too much attention for now to whether these buttons are off or on. This is for targeting particular adjustments you'll make later on, but just look that you can see this title is on an upper video track, and because it's above, it's in front of the lower video track. And this is how you can construct complex compositions. You can have multiple pieces of video flying in and around and extra layers of graphics and titles. Now, if I press the space bar here, or I click on the play button in the program monitor, I'll get a preview of the contents of the sequence, which at the moment is just this title and our character saying, "Excuse me." Now, it looks like we just missed him saying "excuse me," and if you look very closely here, you can see some little markings on this line. This is a waveform indicating the audio level. I'm going to click to resize this audio track and make it taller so it's easier to see where the audio is. I'm just going to click back on the time ruler at the top here and hit the spacebar to play again.
Excuse me, is this seat taken?
Excellent. Now, all the usual keyboard shortcuts work in Premiere Pro. So I can undo. I'm going to press, this is on a Mac, Command Z. This would be Control Z on a Windows machine, and get back to where we were. And essentially building a sequence in Premiere Pro, which is the real work that you're going to be doing, is placing these building blocks of clips in order on the timeline with the timing that you want. And that's kind of it. As long as the timing is right, you're editing. And of course, there's visual effects work and audio effects and mixing. We'll look at little bits of all of those in this course. But the essential task of building a sequence in Premiere Pro is just how you place these clips. Now, I'm going to make another sequence. We'll touch on how to do this properly in another lesson, but I'm going to select one of these clips. I'm going to right click on it. I get this huge menu, and I'm going to choose New Sequence from Clip. This is going to give me a sequence that matches the settings. Sequences have settings, and this will match my media. And now if I want to add another clip, I can, let's say, double click on an item here in the project panel. This opens in the source monitor. And if I decide I want this clip, I can press the I key or click on the Mark In button, and I can press the spacebar to play. That's great. He looks grumpy. I'll press the O key or click on the Mark Out button. And this means I'm just going to take the piece of the clip that I've marked. I'm going to drag this clip down into the timeline panel. And now I've added this to my sequence. Essentially, that is video editing. Look at your clips, choose the pieces that you want, and put them into the sequence in the order they should appear, in the order they should play back.